Well, we are on our way to another sound recording movie set for an indie film, and we're on our way there now. We've got to go to Acacia Gardens. I've never been there before, so a bit of an adventure. Let's go do it, man. We'll stop along the way to get some more commentary, I'm sure. So it is now July 2024, and the last year at this time, I basically lost my contract with a government department, and it was paying extremely well, doing work that I am qualified to do and which I generally enjoy. And since that time, since June 2023 basically, I have not been able to get myself back into an IT contract just because of the way the economy is and the way the market's going. So I've had to go and work in a hardware store, and I've been there almost 9 months, maybe 10 months now, and I'm enjoying it, but it is paying such bad money that what it did was it motivated me to get more involved in finding ways to make additional income. Because of YouTube, YouTube's given me this ability to pretty much learn whatever it is that I have a lack of knowledge in. I can learn it and apply it and learn from mistakes, and watching videos about people making other mistakes or recommending what to do and whatever it is you might be looking at, whatever field it is. And you can learn skills so much quicker and so much more easily and cheaper and quicker and efficiently than any other way that I've ever come across to learn things. Traditionally, you'd go to a book, or you'd attend a class, or you'd hire someone to teach you what to do. But YouTube, far out, is free, and you can do it anywhere, anytime. Like look at a video and be instructed by people who generally are knowledgeable and good with sharing their knowledge in a way that there's no pressure, there's no tests, there's nothing except learning and then applying what you've learned and making it work. So I did that with sound recording. I followed a few people on YouTube who are sound engineers or sound recorders on movie sets, joined a Facebook group, got to know some people, and started doing sound recording based on what I picked up from YouTube doing these videos, and what I learned from YouTube from professionals who do sound recording for a living. And I'm loving it, absolutely loving it. So I feel very fortunate and very lucky and very, very happy to be able to be included and have people have faith in me to do a good job recording audio on movie sets. And I found out by accident that it actually can pay quite well as well, because when you consider it, videos now are becoming a bit of a growth industry across the globe as the smartphones get better and better and cheaper. The video capability and audio recording capabilities are very, very good. So there are more and more people making videos, and there's more and more people opening their minds to the possibility of hiring people to make videos for them, for business or personal projects, whatever it might be. And so there's a lot of people now in the indie film industry, making indie films on a very, very tight budget, who need help with all kinds of things. So from production through to booking places, through to hiring actors, through to planning and scheduling and doing sound and cinematography, so video work. There's just so many opportunities that I'm finding it kind of easy to fall into this and do something which I don't consider work, but I can get paid for. So yeah, it's really, really cool. I think the hardest part about getting into sound engineering or sound recording on movie sets is basically making it cost effective. You could easily run out of money doing this. So what I do is I just ask students to cover my costs for fuel, tolls, and parking. They generally provide kind of snacks and food during the shoot day, so I don't ask for any allowance for food, but just to cover my transport costs basically to get to site and do the work. That's the challenge. And what I'm discovering over the YouTube internet kind of medium again is that a lot of sound recorders, especially in America, are charging quite a lot of money, like US dollars, $1,500 a day. That is a lot of money for doing what I think is just fun. So that's what I'm aiming for here, is $1,500 Australian. So it's going to be a little bit less than the US real dollar value, but I think that's still a lot of money, and I could easily, survive on $1,500 Australian a day shooting. So I'm aiming for that. The most I've got at this stage, I think, is like maybe $300 or $350 for a day's shooting, and I've been doing this for maybe since November last year, roughly-ish. No, a bit later, probably November, December say last year. So what's that, about 7 months now? And I've invested quite a bit of money in my sound gear. So for my YouTube channel, I wanted to learn how to make movies. So I bought 2 cameras, and they're not top-end cameras by any means. One was second-hand and one was bought new. In fact, I've gone through 3 cameras. The first camera that I bought was an EOS M3, and it's worked pretty well, but the screen's starting to play up a bit with the cable that connects the flippy screen. When I flip the screen now, it sometimes doesn't work, so I decided I better get another camera, so a B camera, which is probably better than my A camera in all honesty, but I prefer the form factor of the A camera that I've got. So the A camera that I've got is a second-hand Canon camcorder, an XA10. It's a prosumer / almost professional camera. When it came out in 2012, it was high definition, so 1080p. 64 gig of internal memory with 2 memory slots, 2 SD memory slots, so you can do relay recording or dual recording, continuously until the battery runs out, basically. And the battery, oh my god, I got 5 batteries for it. I'm down to 3 now. I had to throw 2 away. It's got a AC power pack that I can run so that the power won't run out at all. Otherwise, I've got maybe 24 hours worth of battery life on this camcorder. It's the one I'm filming on right now, actually. It was $1,500 when I bought it in 2019. And that's when I started my YouTube channel, 2019. I've got 86 subscribers now, and it's really slow growth because I really knew nothing about video making movies. So, my videos were really quite bad at the start, so I can understand why I haven't got a lot of subscribers. But over the years, I'm getting better and better at making movies and getting the camera settings correct, especially the exposure side of things. But the sound I've always been pretty good with. So most of it, there's a few things I've tweaked and learnt over the years in terms of how to make a good sound and make the sound work really well, and levels and things like that. But one of the big things was around the lavalier microphones, lav mics, how to make them basically have zero, that ruffling noise, wind noise or clothing noise you might get, how to remove that pretty much completely. I'm pretty proud of what I've learned from YouTube, yet again, on how to use and set up lav mics. I bought a sound recorder soon after getting the camcorder, and that was a Zoom H1N, and that's still working quite well. I decided I needed XLR inputs, so I decided to buy a Tascam Porta Capture X8 for $1,000 when it first came out, and also mainly because it does the 32-bit float, so I don't have to worry too much about the gain settings, things like that. I mean, it's still important, but I don't have to monitor it continuously through a shoot the way I would with the 24-bit. Do a YouTube search on the difference between 24-bit and 32-bit and you'll understand what I'm talking about. It doesn't take too long, it's very informative, very, very easy. This is what I love about YouTube. Yeah, so I bought the Tascam Porta Capture X8, and then soon after that I bought a Sony, I think it's a EGM VG1 video microphone. It's a pretty good shotgun microphone, but after that I thought I'd get into the Sennheiser, so I got a Sennheiser MPE600, which I think is equivalent in audio quality to the veritable Sennheiser 416, which people use in Hollywood and Netflix productions for sound. So at a fraction of the cost, it's about $330 odd for my MPE, whereas the 416 is in the order of $1,500 here in Australia. So quite a lot more expensive with not much better sound from what I can tell. So yeah, I'm very happy with my my Sennheiser. I've got an NTG video mic, or a video mic NTG from Rode. I really like that microphone. That's really good. I use that on the camcorder when I'm doing YouTube videos out and about. What else? Then I decided to get a light so I can light my videos. They're the main things that I've bought. So the second camera, the B camera, is a Canon M6 Mark II. So that's only bought earlier this year. I use that as a B cam because I've got to change lenses and change microphones and do a lot of settings on it. Whereas the camcorder, I've got everything in the one unit. I can just basically pick it up, and then everything's always connected on it. I've got two microphones, two XLR microphones, the Sony and the video mic NTG, continuously hooked up to the camcorder. So it's just literally pick it up. I've got it on a mono stand as well, so pick up the mono stand, pick up the camcorder, take the whole thing with me, bang. I've got 35mm through to 300mm telephoto lens, and two adapters. One's a 2x magnifier and a wide angle, so I can make it like I think a 16mm equivalent, the wide angle lens. So I love the camcorder form factor. Just, you know, it's everything is set up in one unit. It's got a really long battery life. It doesn't have a 15-minute or 30-minute time restriction on recording, so I can record for as long as I've got power and memory card space. And I bought a small rig, which I'm using right now, small rig window, what do you call it? It's a mounting bracket basically that it's got two suction cups, and I can suction cup the camera to windows, so it's on the sunroof right now in the car. So that's how I'm able to get this footage. So all these little knickknacks I've bought. So I made myself a slider, because slider makes videos interesting when used appropriately. I've bought myself a Newear electronic dolly, so I can make the dolly either go forwards and backwards in a straight line, or at a curve, pretty tight curve too, so I can get it down to a 45-degree angle and make a turn in a reasonably tight turn with a speed selection. And I think I can make it go forwards and backwards in a loop continuously, and I think I might even be able to control it with Bluetooth off the iPhone with an app. I haven't actually played around with it at this point, but I'm really keen to get that on the slider to see what creative videos I can make with that. But my point is basically I'm learning how to get the technicalities of using all of the video and audio equipment to make good videos and good movies, and I've pretty much got that to a point where I'm very happy with the way it all works. The only thing that I want to change now is learn all about the scripting side of movie making, and especially the story, the narrative story around movies, what makes them compelling and what makes people just get really engaged and love a movie. So movies like Avatar, Star Wars, I don't know, those movies, Interstellar, that just kind of grab you and you can't stop watching it, and it's all because of the movie. It's not the cinematography or the audio or the music. It's a combination of that, but it's the main component of a really compelling movie is this actual story. And I finally figured out what that is that makes a story compelling. It's all about a character or some strong characters, a small number of characters in a movie, and the struggle that they're facing in whatever it is that they're undertaking to do. So you're taken along like a fly on the wall or a person on their shoulder, observing their struggle and whatever it is they're doing in their life. And if the character has got enough charisma, you can't help but get drawn into it and want to see them succeed. It's really interesting. So the psychology behind storytelling is something which I'm finding fascinating. So that's the thing I'm trying to understand more and more now. So that's what I'm going to try and experiment with in YouTube. So I'm going to make myself that main character and try to be as charismatic as I can, so that you get sucked into my world and want to keep on watching what happens in my life. So I've decided to make a few stories around what's happened in my life, what's got me to the point where I am now at the young, tender age of 59, and becoming a audio engineer or audio recordist on movie sets, when I've come from an IT background where computers was my life and interest and hobby, and everything was literally my world. And I'll tell you what got me into IT and what got me out of IT, because I'm not doing IT anymore. I even ran an IT business for 10 years. That's how much I loved it, and it was good fun, but we'll go into that at a later stage as to why it ended and why I don't miss it at all. But movie making, far out, man, it is a thing that's been there forever, but I haven't really gone into it into a big way, except when YouTube started. And even when YouTube started, like, I was in IT. I was rolling out the internet to universities and professors and lecturers at my uni. I was working there and studying part-time, so full-time job working in IT at the uni that I was doing my degree in IT. And all through the late 80s and 90s and 2000s, I was basically observing the growth of companies like Apple, which started in 1975, and Microsoft, which started also around that time frame, 1970s, 75 or so, and other companies which have come and gone. So Imagineering, Osborne Computers, Furniture Computer Corporation, watching the rise and fall of companies like IBM. So yeah, it was a fascinating time, especially with those big characters like Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, Bill Gates, and his offside, who I've forgotten his name. God, I can't believe that. But yeah, being involved in that, seeing the rise and fall of computer companies like Commodore, so the Amiga, the C64, making massive inroads into people's homes, and the kids basically learning how to program on TRS-80, Tandy, basically small computers but calculators at the end of the day. Yeah, fascinating. I just find computers and electronics and physics just really interesting, very, very, very interesting. And what's happened is that combination now. So the internet is basically it's everywhere. It's kind of foundational now across business and across personal lives. It's literally embedded itself in everyone's life on the planet, or it will do that eventually, if not everyone on the planet, most people on the planet. Yeah, it's just great. And so that now is pushing itself, the internet and the technology is pushing itself into the movie making world. So there are things like timecode. So timecode is another really interesting aspect of audio recording, where you can sync audio and video very, very quickly and reliably using this technology tool called timecode. Prior to that, you'd have to get a clapperboard and then sync up the audio and the video with the motion of the clapperboard and the sound that the clapperboard made when the sticks hit together. And that's the start of when you synced the sound together. And if you didn't do that every single time, you'd have to try and sync it up with the motion of people's lips and the noise coming out of their mouths, which was the video and audio synchronization. And that was very time consuming and very manual. It was a very manual process. So what my point is there, that with movie making and all of the tools we've got with video and audio, there's a lot of technicalities to how movies are made and how video and audio is captured. It's like an art and science combination, and I love that. That's what I was tossing up, doing guitar or chemistry or computers, and my dad gave me advice to go into computers, which I did, but I still kept my interest in guitars, music and art and things like that. But yeah, IT definitely pays better than those other industries. So in that way, I think my dad was right. But my heart lies in the mixture of science and arts. So, like when you look at a guitar, that is an engineering marvel. It's a piece of equipment which is basically using physics to make sound, and the maths behind it is fascinating. And the same thing's happening with me for audio and video. I just love being with people who want to make art using tech, and I love tech. I don't know what it is about it, I just love it. Just making things work and have them work efficiently and well, and how I envisage the audio or the video to come out is what I really enjoy. And like I said before, the thing that's missing for me now is just that skill in making a story really compelling and really interesting. So that's what I really want to work on coming up. So getting into the movie making world has exposed me to people who are skilled in storytelling, and I'm learning from them. And I've written a script, and I've got some feedback from people saying how to change it and make it, tweak things a little bit to make it either episodic or like a serial story you can tell over and over again with different stories every week almost, or make it a movie, just a one-off, like a one story start finish and that's it, there's no more to tell about it. You can do that as well. So there's a whole lot of skills that I want to learn in that space to help me understand how I can make what it is I want to make, whether it's a movie, a serial, or episodes, or whatever it might be. And there's so many ways to tell a story. Like I can do what I'm doing now, which is just basically keep on talking about something, and that becomes a story in its own right. Or you can do it completely with no sound, as in no spoken sound at all, or you can do it through music, or you can do it just like an audio book, just talking. But I love the idea of mixing the two together, video and audio, and then choosing which medium to emphasize the most to give the audience the message that you want to convey. And the message in movies is not informational, it's not entertainment, it's actually emotional. That's what the movies are there for, is to make an emotional connection between the storyteller and the audience, and sometimes even between the audience members themselves, not including the storyteller. So you share this experience with other people in real time. That I think is the power of video or movies, the emotional connection. And that's what that's again the thing that I want to understand more and be skilled at making and creating that. Because I want that emotional connection with my audience in YouTube. So you watching this video here, I want that emotional connection where we look at each other and we go, yeah, I get you. I understand what you're on about, and I like what you're doing, and I support what you're doing. And I want that to be from my side to you and from your side to me. So we've got this this shared humanity across the internet. So we don't even have to know each other, but we can get each other. I love that so much. I think that's what people like Casey Neistat, Peter McKinnon, Matty Hapoya, there's a lot of linkages with that kind of common ground where they know how to get an emotional connection conveyed across a video, across a movie. I find that fascinating. There's a lot of psychology behind movie making, which is really, really cool. So there you go. That's where I'm at right now. 59, making movies. I've got my I've proven to the world that I can get a degree. So I've got a Bachelor of Science. I've proven to the world and proven to myself, therefore, that I can do things. I can learn new things, even though people say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. That's a lie. With YouTube, you can literally learn anything that you want to learn about. Anything. So I do motorcycle repairs and I video that, and so there are people that I watch on how to fix things. Now I'm making movies on how to fix things that other people can learn from. Yeah, there's I just love that sharing of knowledge and sharing of ideas, and there's more and more people out there who know how to do that and who are willing to do that and are not afraid of sharing their knowledge. I love it. So I'm really grateful that YouTube exists. And I hope it's there for a lot longer. And I hope it's not going to vet videos and stop videos from being released. Otherwise, we can't learn from other people's mistakes. And I think that is the key to progressing the human race. We have to learn from other people's mistakes as well as our own. But why go and make the same mistake when you can watch someone else and learn from them? And a lot of people out there are willing to share their knowledge on, hey, don't do this, this doesn't work, I did it and this is the outcome, so do this instead. That's what the power of YouTube is. It's wonderful. So good. On that note, I need to drive, so I'll just pause this and we can continue later.